Hi everyone! Welcome to a special episode of Illuminating the Stories That Bind Us. This bonus episode is a playback of a live webinar Jen recorded last year with Integrative Council founder Dayna Wood called Summer of Self-Care. We'll be back with a regular episode next month. We hope you enjoy it. Have a great summer.
All right, we are live.
Woohoo! Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Is there anyone out there that could say hello so that we know if we are connected?
We're not just speaking into the void.
I know. Okay. Oh, there's 5 people viewing us. Okay, I just got like eyeballs that showed. Yes, yay. All right.
Well, keep on coming with the chats. We love to see who's with us, and so we can do some shout outs and feel truly connected.
Absolutely. And I think I'm just going to dive in. And I know a lot of you know Dayna and I already, but just to say real quick, Dayna and I met in grad school at the University of Florida, but we really had the magic begin when we took a trip to Granada, Spain together. And that was when a lot of these seeds were planted. But we're going to skip the whole story because we've shared it before and just come to the present moment where Dayna and I are joining forces. I like to bring mindfulness. She likes to bring imagination. And we combine that and shake it and add a little bit of art and expression. And that then hopefully will help others heal, learn, grow, connect, create. Yes. So that's Dayna and I in a nutshell. So we are so happy to be here. We're very excited about today's topic because we think it is incredibly important. We know how much all of us are starving for rest and self-care, just the basics. And this is such a perfect timing for me because for those of you that know, I just finished doing a retreat called the Wow Stage and put my heart and soul into that. And so did our team. Everyone just put everything into it, and we're all trying to come back to balance now. So Dayna and I have said many times, like, we're sharing this with you, but we're also learning it ourselves, right?
Yes, full transparent. And a little shout out to Shannon and Kaylee. Thanks for being here. And Shannon was a big part of the Wow Stage. You guys co-produced that. And so yes, full transparency. This is something that I too am very much in the process of working on. I have not mastered it yet. And that being said, it is why it is so important that we are teaching it and living it so we too can really lead by it. And so as we present this material, it is because we have been working in it and with it. And when we present sort of the Summer of Self-Care Challenge at the end, we're going to be doing it right along with you.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And I love saying that. I love when we talk about like us being in the human experience as well and doing this stuff ourselves at the same time that we're helping others. So this is a really good example of that. And today what we're going to be doing is, in just a few moments, Dayna's going to talk a little bit more about Solstice, but just to give you an overview of the whole thing, we're going to be doing a guided meditation, which we're super excited about because the wisdom that often you find in those guided meditations is just more than anything that Dayna and I could give you.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. All the wisdom. And then we are going to do a creative directive. Dayna's going to lead you in that. And then we are going to talk about 3 steps to overcoming the blocks between you and rest and balance and self-care. So very excited about that. But Dayna, do you want to talk a little bit more about why we chose this time?
Yes. And so as June 21st approaches, we are probably all feeling some of the fray that comes with sort of airy season that we are leaving behind, of just the do and go. And so solstice is derived from Latin sol for sun, as well as still or stop. And so as we're coming to the summer solstice, it's really an opportunity to begin to slow down and to begin to actually nourish ourselves, which is exactly what the sun does during this time. And we can think of crops, and we can think of our body, and really beginning to live sort of in the natural flow of the timing of the seasons.
Yes, exactly. So we're excited to talk more about that today and really utilize this season to help everyone reconnect with yourselves, your body, and this idea of having balance and self-care and nourishment. So still loving all the shout outs, by the way, Brianna and Alex, so happy that you are here. And yes, and Lori, you're in Nashville now. That is good to know. So why don't we begin with a meditation? So I know that all of the people, all the lovely, Amy, you're here too. Yay. Amy is like a sister in the Midwest, and you're like sisters with Lori. So you guys are like together in this. This is wonderful. So I know that most of you, that I'm seeing your beautiful names there, know and are familiar with meditation and guided meditations. But just in case there are people in on this that aren't, I'm just going to kind of guide you through a process of really connecting with your body. And it may seem strange because I am going to have you talk to your body. And I am going to have you do a bit of a check-in. And Dana and I really want this to be part of the ritual that we're hoping you're going to take with you. This can become this self-care check-in. So on that note, I'm just going to start guiding all of you. So if you can just take a moment and get comfortable wherever you are. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, and just take a moment to transition into this workshop. And usually how I like to do that is just have a moment where you can just feel whatever is below you, feel the chair that you're sitting in, or if you're lying on the floor or bed or a couch or wherever you are, just noticing and feeling the support. If your feet are touching the ground, just feeling the ground against your feet, and just taking a moment to connect with your breath. That is all I'm asking you to do right now, is just noticing what your body feels like on the in-breath and noticing what it feels like on the out-breath. And now I just want you to do a body scan. So just physically going through your body and noticing if you are drawn to a certain part of your body. And notice if there is any tension. Is there a part of your body that you're drawn to because there is tension? And just taking a moment to breathe into that part of your body. And now I want you to ask that part what it needs to release the tension. Just allow whatever intuitively comes up in the moment. You don't have to judge it as good or bad, right or wrong. Just take all of this as information from your body. And next, I want you to ask if there's anything else your body is telling you that you need physically. And just continue to check in with your body physically. Again, just with curiosity and compassion, gathering that information. I next want you to check in with your body emotionally. Just check in, asking yourself how you're feeling right now. And same thing, seeing if there's anything that that part of you can tell you it needs. And again, just noticing, allowing it to pass through you, and just taking any information that you can with curiosity about what's coming up emotionally. And next, just mentally, just noticing with gentle curiosity what's going on in your mind and asking what your mind needs. What do you need mentally? So just taking note of all that information and thanking your body for that wisdom. Thanking your body, your mind, your emotions, your soul, everything for all the help that it gives you to live this human life. And just ask one last time, is there anything else that you need for me to take care of you? And again, just taking note of whatever is coming up. And now I just want you to take 3 big breaths. So just take a moment right now to inhale and just exhale. And just repeat that 2 more times in your own way. And just going back to feeling yourself connected by whatever you're sitting in, feeling your feet connected to the floor, noticing the quality of air around you, noticing any sounds. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Bring yourself back to the workshop. If there's anything that came up and you haven't done it yet, just jotting it down on either the worksheet or the journal. Some of you may have received a worksheet to go with this. It was in your email, but just taking a moment to jot down anything that you had come up during this exercise.
Thank you, Jen. And I'm going to jump right off that because the creative directive is directly related and it will likely also incorporate some of what you're jotting down right now. So feel free to continue to jot while I just share with you the very accessible, so you don't need any additional supplies, just whatever utensil, implement you have in your hand. Simply take your worksheet if you have it or your journal and asking your body part that you noticed during this meditation, when you were able to really go within and inquire if there was anything you needed, I would like you to simply make a mark on the page. So that can be a word, it can be a shape, it can be a doodle, it can be just a simple like scratching or texture. There truly is no right or wrong, but some symbolic representation of the message that your body shared with you. And additionally, what it might need at this time. So again, this isn't like a large description. This is just a symbolic representation that can be like an anchor or a totem that you can carry with you. So in this self-care ritual, you will have a way to not only check back in with your body, but also have the visual reminder or the takeaway from that. So giving you another just minute or so. Again, this is not a masterpiece. This is just a simple sort of getting it down mark on paper. What did your body share with you? Does anyone want to put in the comments, maybe what is their one word, or what was their shape or their texture? Their symbolic representation. And you don't have to, but it's an
no pressure.
if you would like. Connection. Thank you, Amy. Beautiful. So much said in just that one word.
So much said in that one word, especially after what we've been through. Labyrinth. Cool one, Shannon. Color green, healing. Love that color green. My favorite. And providing support. Yeah. Help, support. Makes me think of the connection. And even the labyrinth. And the healing. We could make like a collage with everything that everybody.
That was
yeah. Thanks. Oh, 2 people with the color green. If I showed you my office, you'd be like, oh, I've got green everywhere.
Reminds me of nature.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for participating in that way.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about, like we said, 3 ways to help get in the way, to help take out of the way the things that are in
our own way, maybe.
Yes, exactly. What is between us and rest and taking care of ourselves, because there's so much, right? Otherwise we wouldn't even be doing this. There would be no reason to do this type of workshop or webinar. And just so you know, there are going to be different things peppered in this process in terms of you getting to know what really helps you genuinely rest. And we're going to talk a little bit about different rituals that you can do to help enhance that, maybe ones that you haven't heard before. So the first step is finding out what stories have gotten in the way of you resting and taking care of yourselves. So some of you may know I have a podcast called Illuminating the Stories That Bind Us. And it's basically about people having a chance to illuminate a story that is keeping them from experiencing joy or their dreams or happiness or any kind of peace in this life and fulfillment. So it's very similar. This is just specifically stories around rest. And I couldn't believe it, right? Yeah. When I did this, one of the first things that came up was, if I rest, that means someone else has to do the work, and that's not fair. Like, that story was as clear as day, because I did like this image of me taking a nap, and I was like, no, that would mean that someone else would have to do X, Y, and Z, and that's not fair. So that's a story that's binding me. So that's always the first step, is if we can become aware of what is getting in the way. There's so many stories, right, Dayna? There's stories from society, right? Like, I think about the myth that rest is like lazy, right? Or selfish. There's stories from our families, right? There may be like just different cultures and things like that from our family, or messages around rest from our families. So just taking a moment, right, and finding out what the stories are.
And I can share with you my personal one, because okay, and Shannon, if I rest, it all falls apart and I'm going to be in trouble.
Ooh,
Mine is,
mine
mine is somewhat similar. Mine is, and is probably based on anxiety, is if I rest, I'm going to have a heck of a load of a huge load to still do after I rest.
Yep.
So,
Yep. So might as well do it, right? Let's just do it. And that way the to-do list gets shorter, even though I'm burnt out and I haven't rested, right? And
even though logically I know, I get it, right? That if you're burnt out, you're going to be far less productive. And so is this a good time to go into what is rest?
yes. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, because rest can mean so many different things to so many different people. And so some people do define rest as distraction, like watching TV, etc., or things that might numb you out. And you can sort of put a host of things into that category. And though I'm not giving necessarily judgment to these things, I don't think they actually equal rest, because when we're discussing rest, we're discussing a few things that actually happen mentally and physiologically. So mentally, we begin to shift from beta brainwave to alpha brainwave, or even getting into some of the gamma, theta, delta, etc. And so beta is the sort of really sharp and fast brainwaves that look more like this. Alpha, you get more like this. And so you can actually track this. And there are certain things that can trigger alpha brainwaves versus beta. And so there's a term in modern Western culture called beta blues, because beta brainwaves are super important for short-lived bursts of needing to get stuff done. But we kind of get stuck there. And so beta blues often look like symptoms that resemble anxiety, depression, burnout, etc. And so when we're going to be discussing rest and asking you to focus on what rest means for you, it's going to be really thinking about ways you can begin to enter alpha brainwave state, as well as sort of not just our heads, right? But as an entire system, what can help us get into a parasympathetic versus sympathetic. And so I heard this amazing quote by someone who I trust, but I think it was Dr. Daniel Siegel, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. But all healing, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, happens when we enter parasympathetic. So we don't begin to heal until we get there. And so the rest and restoration we're discussing is going from beta to alpha, as well as from sympathetic to parasympathetic. And we'll share some tips of what can lead you there, but it probably isn't involved with a screen or chemicals.
So. Exactly. And I think a really good distinction on everything that you're saying is changing from doing, right? Anything that we're doing, even knitting, which is like very meditative and could be very like self-care-ish, is still keeping busy, right? And so we're kind of taking things a little bit deeper with this webinar and really inviting people to get to that brain state and that place in your nervous system where you're not in a thinking and a doing place, right, Dana? And why? What is so important? So Dana just brought up, because it heals. You actually heal. It ignites the part of your body that is innately made to heal yourself on all levels that we can't reach if we're doing, right? The other reason is, believe it or not, and I'm sure you will believe it as soon as it comes out of my mouth, we are more creative and we are more productive if we can get to this place of rest, or this brain state. So it actually gets us to be more creative and productive. And then the other thing is that it helps us connect with our intuition. And the idea that we do have a deep knowing within us that we're not able to access if we are distracted by TV, if we're, doing things and we're not in that state of quiet and going in. And so I'm just going to do a really quick plug from that and talk about this amazing book. I don't know if you guys can see it. Daring to Rest. My friend Olga Kaminsky had introduced me to it a while ago, and I started doing yoga nidra. I don't know if any of you have heard about yoga nidra, but it's not like yoga, like we're going to be in the warrior pose or anything. You're in shavasana the entire way, and it's just a very meditative, restful sleep, but you're in a conscious state of sleep. So you're not exactly sleeping. And that has all the qualities that Dayna just described. It brings you to those places. And we're going to just talk a little bit more about that because, again, we want to bring you ways that not only you rest and you take care of yourself, but you also can get to that deeper knowing. So on that note, I want to go to the second step, which is redefining rest. So with all that we just gave you, can you give rest a new definition? So not if you rest, you're lazy. If you rest, you're not, helping out your family, or you're going to be in trouble, whatever it is. We are now looking at, what about rest being a chance to connect with your imagination? What about rest being chance to let your body heal itself? What are some others? I don't know if anybody feels comfortable sharing what's coming to their minds.
Yeah, so take just a minute, and how do you now define rest?
And I love how Alex put, she used to use distraction as a substitute for rest, and that's changing. Amy, a good friend once told me, you need to focus on being a human being, not a human doing. I forget sometimes, but it resonated with me. Yeah. Rest is being.
And Shannon, I find I can't say it with, if I rest, I have to say it with when I rest.
Like that. Nice that. Somehow it opens it up. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's not if, it's a when.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to get to in our
third. Yeah, that was a little sneak peek.
Foreshadowing, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to put out there how they might be redefining rest for themselves? I love it, Shannon. You're probably in that alpha brainwave state right about now. If it's just
maybe the meditation helping you there, maybe. And this is also a good moment on your worksheet. Taking a moment right now to not only think about this redefinition, but what are the ways that you truly rest? What are the ways that you truly rest? So for me, as you can tell, this is my new kick. The yoga nidra is my new way of getting really true rest.
And a little plug for yoga nidra is it is, like, through research they have found that it is one of the tools that uniquely can get you to beyond alpha, to more like some of the gamma and even delta, which is not typically an easy brainwave state to get to consciously. And yoga nidra can assist in that, which is pretty cool, right?
Yes, absolutely. It is. And it does. It takes you away. And I find it gives me a boost. And because I, recently experienced the burnout from just pushing so hard for the wow stage, the distinct switch that happens. But same thing with, like, just laying on the beach or laying on the ground, right? In a hammock.
Float tanks. That's one of my favorite ones.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Gets me to theta brainwave pretty quickly.
Yes. So that's the, like, what's it? Deprivation. So what's the
Yeah.
Sensory deprivation. Sensory deprivation. Yeah.
I know those aren't always as easily accessible, but definitely
Yes.
one I like to do
Yes.
semi-regularly. Yeah.
There's one here in Portsmouth. I'm going for my birthday.
Yay.
So, yeah.
Um,
And Lori, you said to piggyback on Amy's, Virginia Woolf always talked about those moments of being, truly just being in the moment.
And does anyone want to throw out there some of their ways of resting, really beginning to access the parasympathetic nervous system? What are you writing in your column for number 2? Meditation, that's a one that people often use, or pranayama, breathing techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Are people, is there any confusion in this area? Are people running up against, I don't know what to do for true rest?
Which I think is just like another example of like how far just learning from the wow stage, feeling a burnout, that the energy of something undone and unlisted is always pulling out of my ability to rest. Can rest be a walk to clear the mind? Yes. I think especially like walks in nature and
I think there's a difference between getting on your treadmill to try to burn calories versus a walk in nature.
Yes. Yep. Definitely. Oh my gosh, now we're getting so many. I can't keep up. Baths and Stephen Halpern healing music. Listening to ocean waves. Yes. Oh my God, that's so hypnotic.
Yeah. Being outside, the smell of flowers, feeling grass, gazing at nature.
That's like that present moment being, engaging the senses. Meditation in a restful pose. Yeah.
There's something also, again, I get sort of off on the brain research, which you probably might notice, but humans really need the opportunity to see a horizon. It helps get us into that parasympathetic nervous system. It's just like in our DNA, we need to see sort of a sort of full horizon to begin to actually relax.
Yes. And thank you for saying that, Dayna, because how many times are we this?
Yeah.
Right? There's no horizon. There's no horizon on this, right? And even sometimes I'll just take a look out the window and it's just houses, but like it's still we have symbols, laying under a tree, perspective. That's zoom out, right? Epsom salt bath, which makes me think about another thing. I love they're sharing ideas. There's connection, Amy. Brianna, she loves your idea of singing bowls. I wanted to bring in another ritual. Essential oils can be really, really helpful in calming and bringing your nervous system down and things like that. So I often, Lori, like to put lavender in my Epsom salt so that I can have the calming influence of that. And any of these restful things, you can put lavender or chamomile because it's so calming. And just rub it on your hands and put it over your face, and like those rituals can also enhance rest.
Alternate nostril breathing too. Yeah, I love that too, Cassie. I do that every morning.
Yeah.
So and true. A quick plug for using olfactory scent. Olfactory scent. Sorry. I'm getting over a sickness that really did something to my language, so I apologize, but it's almost back. Scent directly connects to the limbic system. So if we can find a scent, for instance, like lavender, chamomile, it can directly connect to that part of our brain that's like, bah, and help relax it.
Yes, exactly. And it's not interrupted. It's like a direct line. So logic can't say, oh, this is never going to work. It's so stupid. Why do people talk about essential oils? And actually our brain is just like, nope, it goes right there.
Yeah.
Vocal sounding. Yes, Shannon. And I know how much that's that heals you. I've been able to witness how beautiful you use that to help you heal. Yeah.
All right. Should we transition to that third step
Yes.
as we've sort of begun to name it or label it, allowing there to be space for grace?
That's
And
it.
so it seems almost counterintuitive that we really do have to work to enable space for rest, but it really does require a certain amount of deliberate, intentional scheduling and coming to a session like this so we can begin to brainstorm what is true rest, what it means for you. There's a bit of work required in order to actually rest. And so there's Jen and I often talk about the importance of containers. And so what container are you going to create so you can have that fluid center? And there's likely going to be some external and internal resistance to this idea of creating the space to rest. And so that might be time. That's the one that often sort of gets me going, is there's not enough time, right? That's my not enoughness, is that outside pressures from family, etc. As Jenny already mentioned, some of our own stories. So that shadow material that's always sort of bumping up against the surface. Wondering if anyone would feel comfortable sharing some of their potential internal or external resistance, why rest feels hard or difficult.
Yeah, and why scheduling the rest,
yes,
having a container, like what comes up for you when we say like, okay, third step, let's put it in your calendar. Like what are you, exactly. I know, even just hearing myself say it, I'm like, what comes up?
It's interesting for me. I know if I schedule it, it will happen because I'm pretty good at time blocking, but there definitely is something that prevents me from putting in my calendar. Yeah, guilt, Amy. It's guilt that putting it in the calendar. Oh man, that time could be used for X, Y, and Z for a lot of doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something will bump
the scheduled item. That's like the first thing that's going to go, right? Like the thing that you do for yourself is like the first thing that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not going to happen. Mm-hmm.
And so we are posing, how might we as a group help support each other in making this happen?
Yeah.
Giving us the space for grace.
Yeah.
World, definitely get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once there's a sliver of time, I just want to crash.
And maybe that is what your body needs, actually, is the sliver of time to crash.
Yeah. Being too responsible, not feeling I am a priority. Feeling like pushing work off. There's fear of later, overwhelm, and shame for not doing. This is all real, right? This is all so real. And I think that's, again, one of the blessings. And I know Shannon and I are like, over the waves, because it's like, I think that what has forced me to pick up this book, and what she does is break down, it's called a 40-day yoga nidra challenge, which is kind of like an accountability system within itself, which we're going to talk a little bit more about. That like it in order for me to be functioning, I have to do this right now. And it's because I hit the burnout. And I, like I said, I found something that helps. And so it's like, now I'm just glued to it. Like, I got there, and then I found that when I do this, like, I literally have a boost of energy that is helping me be sharper and think. So that is what I think took me past my stuff. And most of my stuff is what we shared in the beginning, is that shadow. That's what usually pulls on me. And also that, like, time doesn't make sense. So like I really lock myself into like linear societal time, because if I really went by Jen Carey, I would be in a daisy field. And I joke about that a lot, but it's true. Like, that's my natural state. It's like spinning around in a daisy field.
Shannon, I think you're bringing up some really valid points. I think, and I'm gonna reference myself, though I think this probably could be also discussed more broadly, sort of on a societal, is that I also had to get to a place of being very, very sick just recently in order for me to not just think, oh yeah, this is important, but to go, holy cow, I have to do something or my brain isn't showing up anymore in the same way. And that's incredibly frightening, given that's sort of what I need to do the work I do. And so when I was sick, I did allow myself to rest. And like, I was bringing tears to my eyes. So this is truth tears for sure. I don't want to get to that place where my brain feels so fragile again. And I know that's going to mean me taking time, right? And so I think what I'm trying to say is, how do we back up the bus a bit where we don't have to get sick or various, disorders that we begin to attack ourselves, like literally internally. So why we had a meditation and creative directive that focused so much on beginning to listen to our body is, when we begin to listen, maybe we can back that up so we don't have to get to such an extreme to begin to listen.
Exactly. Because something has gone wrong, where we are overdoing, and we are so busy, and we're putting pressure on ourselves. And thank you, Dayna, for being so vulnerable, because it is just, it's gotten to a point where it's just too much on our brains. And it's like, it's almost like that saying, what is that saying? Like, oh, I can't afford to rest. I can't afford not to rest, right? We've reached that point where we're going to do far more destruction if we don't start. Like, we're starting a movement, and the movement is starting in this webinar. We are going to change our society right here, right now.
Starts here.
It's not getting sick. It's putting it into our calendars as if there's just no other way. Is that too blanket?
So I'm going to tell you, and so we're going to talk about how we can remain in touch and accountable with each other over this summer of self-care. We should get t-shirts, definitely. Really good.
I love that. Cassie, are you on it? What are we going to design? Cassie's a rest expert. We could go into a whole thing on that.
And then I asked, could she teach a course on that? Really, she's had to learn this skill early, And so my personal self-care challenge is, I am taking 2 weeks off in June and 2 weeks off in July, and I'm not going to be in front of a computer. And that is a big, big deal. It's a big deal. And so I'm committing to all of you that is happening. Well, I might have to get on a Monday to do a little touch-up stuff, but other than that, I really am not going to be in front of a computer. And so I'm putting it in my schedule, and I've informed my clients, informed my colleagues. I'm doing it.
That's amazing, Dayna. And thank you for having us be your accountability partners for this, and you voicing it. And I just want to take it home. And I just did a salt cave last week or the week before, I don't know, time is funny, but I don't know. So those of you that know about the Himalayan salt caves, is they provide negative ions, and computer screens provide positive ions, and too many kick us out of balance, everything that we're saying. Meanwhile, how many times are we in front of screens, just totally kicking us out of balance? So walking on the beach, taking yourself away from the screen, going to a Himalayan salt cave. There's one a block away, Alex. I don't know if any of you have them around, but again, if you have the beach or even the ground, I think just any kind of grounding produces negative ions. Because so Dayna, that's also another amazing example. And it's hard for us to fathom, right? We're all so connected to electronics now. It's hard to imagine. So I loved how, yes, Amy, I learned this at the Salt Cave. She said, wow, screens kick us out of balance, 5,000%. Going back, Shannon mentioned if we could have health days instead of sick days. That was brilliant, right? And again, like why have we've just, our pendulum has just gone so far. And I think it's okay to say this definitely impacts men too. There's not a doubt in my mind, but I think women have just been busting their asses, like, right? Just like really, really doing it all. So again, let's just start the movement. We got the t-shirts going. Oh, okay. So Shannon, you need to do salt caves? She said to get away from her phone, especially where it lays when I sleep. Yes. Just having I turn off my phone and put it into a different room at night, because just having your electronics near you is giving you that positive ion stuff. Yeah. So, oh, yes. I use the blue screen. Lori is talking about the blue glasses. When I just know for my life, when everything went virtual for all of us, right? When I started getting blue light glasses, I stopped getting optic migraines. I started, like, a lot of things got better for me. I don't know how much they counteract, but they do a little bit. And I wonder if there's research on it. Dayna, have you heard any research on it? Or
I'm not up to date on that.
Yeah.
Though I'm wearing them, so I'm hoping.
I took mine off because there's the light was bouncing off of it. So hopefully I'm okay.
I'm curious if anyone else, as we are approaching close to the end, and we want to give a little time to share with you how we can support each other as accountability partners in this. But does anyone want to share if they have sort of a goal for self-care? So mine is 2 weeks off in June, 2 weeks off in July, not in front of a screen. Does anyone else have an intention for self-care?
Yeah, I'm on day 6 of the Yoga Nidra. So that's going to be, I'm just going to continue rocking that out.
Okay. So are you doing the 40?
I'm doing the 40. I'm doing 365 at the rate that this is going. Okay. It's like a game changer.
Yeah.
And sorry, it was Lori that said health days. But anybody else that wants to post something here about what they're going to do this summer to nourish themselves, to rest.
The commitment you're making to yourself around rest. Yeah. Or would like to make to yourself. Let's start there.
Yeah.
25-minute walk each morning.
Nature by yourself. Whew. That's big, Amy. Mm-hmm. Amy has 2 little ones and works really hard. So that's big. Oh, yeah. A few girls' days and nights with Lori. Absolutely. Brianna, working from home 2 days a week. My goal is to be taking a nature break. Yep. Away from screens. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Walk your dog. Jovi.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. I love to hear more time in nature. Yeah, that's where it begins, I believe.
Yeah.
So Jen and Cassie, Cassie's going to throw into the comments, and hopefully everyone will be able to see. We would love to invite you. We sort of affectionately called it our Inner Circle Facebook group. It has an official name, which isn't that, but that's how we reference it. The official name, I'm going to read it to you, is it's on Facebook. It's called Integrating Healing, Heal, Learn, Grow, Connect, and Create. And Cassie's going to throw it in there. It's sort of an invite only. So it's a private group. It's super safe. It's a cool group of people who share some of these same philosophies that really want to help one another heal, learn, grow, connect, and create. And we have some pretty, I think, cool resources in there. Jenny and I have gone live in there a number of times, and they're still there, and have meditations and creative directives that go with each of those lives. And those are short. Those are like 15 minutes. So you can do it. That could be one way you begin to find ways to go into alpha brainwave state and rest. And Jen, do you want to share about sort of our self-care challenge for this summer?
Yes. So we were trying to think of a way that could really help you be accountable and help motivate you to stay connected with us. Like, for example, I know that Alex just brought up, going and spending at least 2 days out in nature alone for meditation, which sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So if Alex, you so wanted to, and you can join this group and take a picture of yourself doing that. Mm-hmm. Or Amy on your nature walk, or Shannon doing your yoga nidra, or Brianna, walking your dog, whatever, whichever, you can take a picture of it, post it on this. And every time you post yourself doing your true rest and your self-care, your name gets put into a drawing to win this book. So yeah, we just wanted to think of a way that would just motivate us and keep us all connected.
Cassie, thank you for reminding us to mention that though you all have seen this video live, it's only going to be accessible through YouTube for a week. But if you do decide to become a part of our inner circle, it will be accessible within that group sort of indefinitely. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Oh, I'm so glad everybody loves the idea. And yeah, I'm glad it's motivating. And it like, I'm not kidding when I just feel like this is like a whole new mission right now, is just to help everyone just find true rest. It's just, to me, it's like, we have to do this for everything. So the name of the group is Heal, Learn, Grow, Connect, and Create. You're going to put it in there?
I know that's sort of our tag. I don't think that's the name of the group.
Cassie?
Yeah.
Where we're like, Cassie, help.
I'm trying, because I don't know if I can add a comment here, because you're going to host a summer solstice party, but after today, I may just spend it in a restful way.
Oh my God, Amy, I love it. I love it. And if you do host a summer solstice party, just make everybody do yoga nidra and like hand out essential oils or something, and just say, lay on the ground, look up at a tree. Yes. All right. Let me see if I can grab something that can help tag it. And again, this may be like totally.
Because I for some reason can't post in the comments, Jen.
Mm-hmm. And because I imagine it's some sort of invite as well, right? Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry that you have to witness this.
I don't see the link, Cassie. Is YouTube blocking it? Oh. So what we can do is we can send it out in the email.
Okay.
Yeah. So we
All right.
have everyone's email, and that's how you were reminded of today. So we can just simply send out the way you can connect with us in that inner circle through that email.
Yeah. What is it saying? Unlink?
Thank you, Brianna. You searched for integrating healing, and it was the first group that came up. And all you'll do is sort of ask to join, and we will certainly approve that.
Yes. Yep. In fact, it's happening. It's happening right now. I just approved, Brianna. All right. Let me see. Invite. Does it let me invite Facebook friends? Invite with email? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to do this to you anymore. All right. I'm coming back. I'm leaving that. I'm coming back. We will send you an
Cassie
email.
assured us it will be in the email that is sent directly after this. And so be on the lookout there. And sorry, we just weren't aware YouTube blocked us sending links. So now we know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, is there anything? Oh, no, Dayna, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say I wanted to wish everyone a restful evening. And yes, is there anything?
Yeah, is there anything that's like that would feel really good to just add and help you feel wrapped up from this amazing webinar? I'm so grateful for everybody's participation and everybody's energy and connection. It just, I feel really good. So, but is there anything that feels still open that anybody wants to share? I know there's a bit of a delay, it seems. Misty's here. I don't know if anybody wants to say hi to Misty. I think Misty's saying, you want self-care right now, don't you?
She is looking at you for that.
I know. You do. You want self-care? I know. Oh,
animals, though. I mean, that's another great way. Animals can absolutely.
Animals are very, healing. And they don't seem to have a problem with
Yeah. My cat gives me examples of what true rest looks like. So thank you, everyone, for as Jen mentioned, your participation. It really means a lot to know we're not just speaking into the void. Thank you for.
Yes, yeah. This is so important. And yes, Misty wants balls and playtime. Yes, play is a good thing. Yes, good, Lori. Rarely, if ever, are any of us healed in isolation. Healing is an act of communion. I just got like the hair on the back of my neck just stood up.
Mm-hmm. So let's do this as a community together and help support each other. And we're going to wear t-shirts.
We are. And Colleen, it's so good to have you on here. And yes, I know you love yoga nidra, which it's just so wonderful. Yes.
Jen, do you know the answer to that? Any good Reiki positions?
For self-care? I definitely love the one where, and Shannon, you may have one too, but where your left hand is on your heart and your right hand is kind of on like your first chakra or in between, like underneath your navel. That one I find so calming and soothing. Absolutely. And again, bringing in the essential oils, you could totally bring that in where you put the essential oil and put that over your face. That's another one, like you rub your hands together, and everybody can do that right now.
Yeah, and let's do that as a closing.
Yeah, so everybody rub your hands together. Just get that love, healing, life force energy going. And then just put your hands over your face and just breathe that in. And feel that heat. And you can cup your jaw, or Shannon said to cup your neck. Oh, our poor necks.
Maybe this is countering the positive ions. Who knows?
I was just going to say that. And I already feel, I don't know if anyone else did, but I felt like yeah.
Thank you.
This was amazing. I don't want to leave. This is a really good sign.
Thank you, everyone, for a lovely evening together. And may we all have true rest tonight and this summer. Enjoy your solstices, and we'll see you in the group integrating, healing, and we'll be accountable to one another.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, everybody.
you.
And thanks for all the love and the participation. And can't wait to see your pics of self-care on the group. We're doing it. This is our movement.
Yeah, we're starting here.
And we are going to rest. We're going
All right.
to rest. Big love, everybody. Gratitude.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Take good care.
If you'd like to be a participant on Illuminating the Stories That Bind Us, please fill out the form on jenniferhcarey.com. Jennifer would like to thank every single person that makes this possible, including all of the listeners. Because of you listening and sharing these stories, we may illuminate them and unbind the participants stuck in them. And to the participants, your courage and bravery makes this possible. Thank you. A million thank yous to Cassie Brooks Bowling and her team in making this mission come alive and keep it breathing. You can follow Jen at Jennifer H. Carey on Instagram and on Facebook at Jennifer H. Carey Counseling.